we got to do intros. I've got to do intros.
Intros.
Who are you people? Why are we here?
Welcome to the Two Titans and a Hunter. Blah, blah, blah.
Why are you doing a bad Romanian accent?
Because I am here to introduce you to the Two Titans and a Hunter. I am your host, the Nitedemon, blah, blah, blah. With my two familiars, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life, and Peroty.
Oh, is it because it's Halloween? Oh, you're doing the Halloween thing. Okay.
Blah, blah, blah.
Nice.
I appreciate both the accent and the rolled R. Well done, sir.
You should realize, though, he never says blah, blah, blah. Unless, in fact, it is to say that he doesn't say blah, blah, blah.
I say blah, blah, blah. You cannot tell me what I cannot say, I cannot do. So welcome to the show. Let's roll the titles.
Welcome to the horrific Two Titans and a Hunter Destiny 2 podcast. A spectacular show dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is a monstrosity of a show for new and veteran creatures of the night, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you feast and suck the blood of the innocents. I mean, succeed in the game. So let us not waste any more time. Let us begin the show.
You have kids. You should know what that's from, right, Demon?
I mean, I assume it's from a number of things over the course of history and television.
No. The part that I said about he doesn't say blah, blah, blah. It's from
Hotel Transylvania.
that, yes. That.
1, 2, and 3. But Adam Sandler is not in the third one, which really upsets me.
But he
Or the
doesn't
fourth
say
one.
that in all three. He just says it in the first one.
No, he doesn't. He says it in other ones as well. You cannot tell me. I have watched these films with the children's.
Oh, God, please stop.
No, we will not stop.
Okay.
Today is the
T-Rex, you
Festival
want
of
to
the
take my spot,
Lost.
dude?
It's the Festival of the Lost. So we should be picking in monsters and other things that are haunted. Maybe you should be a ghost.
Nah, I'll be Godzilla. I'll just do a lot of loud screeching and yelling in the background.
Try it now, then.
No. What if I could? But it's not. No. Maybe around Halloween you might sucker me into it, but I'm not doing 3 weeks of monster voices only to have half of our viewers leave, like the pirate thing.
No, they appreciate the vampire.
Do they?
They do.
You have this on
Yeah.
good authority, do you?
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
The vampire
blah,
has to be better than the pirate. I'll say that much.
No, the pirate was definitely better. He went all in the pirates.
Who
But
says I'm not going all
Better
in
to
with this
listen
one?
to. Yeah, this is just week 1 of potentially 3 of silly voices. So I mean, just wait. I assume he's building up. I assume by week 3 he'll have a full stream with video and a cape and fangs and everything.
Oh, I could just look. What was his name? Frankenstein's monster just.
That pretty much sounds like you every week. Blah, blah, blah. So, shall we tell the people about this week in Destiny, or the TWAB,
Yeah,
for the
please,
12th of
Parody,
October,
Stop him. Take over. Parody.
2023?
There's no stopping him. There's
Stop him.
only moving on to the 12 for the 12th of 10 in 23.
Let's do
Blah,
it.
blah, blah.
That's brought to us by Hippie. And we've got Sparrows, PvP updates, and spoops. I don't know what a spoop is, but we're going to find out. A spoop with Festival of the Lost. We've got good vibes, so we're ready to rock and roll with the latest this week of Destiny. They
What the
can
hell are
call
you
what they
reading?
want. Literally the TWAB.
I'm
Literally
looking at it too. This week
the
in
first
Destiny,
two
October 12th.
sentence. Yeah,
Oh, there's spoops. Okay, I see.
yeah, spoops.
Okay.
Don't. I mean, I don't read well, but I read fairly competently. I assume it's meant to be spooks, but maybe it's spoops. So we'll have to read on and find out. You know what we did do last week, though? Last week we talked about exotic focusing, other economy changes, the mid-season patch, because as we've defined every week, but the first and the last is the mid-season. The Deck of Whispers developer insight and recap, and a whole bunch of cutscenes that were dumped on the YouTube this week. So if you've missed all the cutscenes, now you can watch them all, or you can continue to skip them. It's up to you.
But we must tell the people about the mid-season update, which is coming on the 17th, this Tuesday at Reset, blah, blah, blah.
We will.
Peroty?
And also the
Peroty?
topics for this week.
Hold on. Peroty,
Whoa.
Peroty. The
Yeah.
spoop is a word.
Spoop is a word. Well, yeah, I mean, Festival of the Lost, let's get spoopy. So
No,
what
no,
does
no.
spoop, what does spoopy mean? Or spoop?
It is mixed. How can I say this? It is a mixture of excrement and male genetic.
I'm
Material.
guessing that is not in the way they are using it. Let's try again. Let's go to an actionable dictionary and not the urban dictionary or the meaning dictionary.
The actual dictionary.com says it means it's spooky, but in a comical or cute way, like a puppy or in a ghost costume kind of thing.
Yeah,
Right.
Internet slang for spooky. So take your mind back out of the gutter at least
I didn't
for
put
a
it
few
there.
minutes.
It's there in black and white, dude.
I'm just saying your mind. I'm saying take it out of the gutter. Come back to the podcast. We're going to get an update from the PvP strike team. We're going to do some checkmate tuning changes. We're going to do some matchmaking changes in Crucible Control, and people are going to yell about it because they're going to put it back the way that it was at some point in the past. We're going to talk about spawn tweaks, and there's more. And we're also to commemorate the crafting, because of course we are. It gets an emblem.
Mm-hmm.
The Any Sparrow is always on time if you're brave enough. Player support report breaks down known issues and maybe unknown issues, and we have movies that aren't the week. So all caught up, groovy. Let's get into it.
All gravy.
Who it may concern? It's almost Festival of the Lost time.
Blah, blah,
Night
blah.
Demon,
Oh,
tell
you
me about
suck-
Festival
No!
of the Lost.
Breaking out those
Awesome.
tricks and treats, Guardians. It's officially spooktacular season. Festival of the Lost is back next week with Space Grandma ready to dole out those sweets and celebrations of all mask-wearing shenanigans. For those itching to get into the Halloween spirit, here's what you need to know about the Festival of the Lost. Blah, blah, blah.
I hate both of you so very much.
And that's why we do it.
We are really excited here at Two Titans and a Hunter, as well as Bungie, about a new edition this year. But are we really?
Are you talking about the Eerie Engrams? A new type of engram for 2023? The Eerie Engram has two uses. Players can crack open them individually for some treats, or use them as currencies for hocus focusing, which we'll get into below.
Ooh.
I bet Respawn's on the edge of his seat saying, how do I earn the Eerie Engram?
No, I
Well,
already
it'll
know.
have a chance to drop upon completion of Haunted Sector's Legend Haunted Sectors,
I know.
and they'll have a higher chance of dropping. Ooh.
Why do we have haunted sectors again? I knew it was coming. I don't know
But
why.
now we have Legend ones, so they made them harder too.
It's still boring and repetitive, man.
So you're not excited to Hocus Focus?
I did think this when I was reading it the other day. I was thinking, is this going to be a thing that is actually going to excite people that have played Festival of the Lost, or is it just going to be something for new players? And it seems to be more set up for the newer players, like that have come in the last year or so.
I don't care who it's set up for. Does Bungie not take feedback? They do.
No. You can't say that they don't take feedback, because I remember at least you or me or somebody in the last couple of years has said, why can we not have legendary haunted lost sectors? Why can we not get exotics when we're doing these lost sectors? Why is it just we're going in there and we're just doing these things? And they have actually listened. There are legendary lost sectors, and there are going to be exotics that you can get from doing the lost sectors, as well as the other event stuff. So they have listened. Unfortunately,
Existing exotics or new exotics?
well, we'll have to get into that.
Yeah.
If Aztecross didn't tell you, we're here to. Yeah, I mean, the fact that this isn't just like two sentences of, hey, here's the weapons that are coming back, and here's the one new weapon we threw in that maybe you care about, maybe you don't. Like, there's a lot to this, whether you're interested to engage with it or not, but there is a lot there. I mean, during Festival of the Lost, we'll have the opportunity to acquire exotic armor with focusing categories in addition to the legendary weapon Eerie Engram Focusing. So, your weapon, basically you've got your weapon Eerie Engrams, which is your Festival of the Lost weapons, or a higher candy count, because honestly, if you're playing at all, you've got loads of candy. You're going to have exotic arms, legs, helmet, and chest engrams. You can also turn in for exotics you're missing, or if you just want to say, I need to reroll some exotics, and because why not? I'm playing the game anyway, I've got candy to spend. So we're going to have a whole bunch of things we can focus. Your exotic for basically all of your exotics, they break it down into each category. I'm not entirely sure why.
Well, because it might cost more, but it doesn't. But it does.
It might cost more, but basically, if you're looking for exotic arms, exotic legs, exotic helmets, and exotic chests, it's one eerie engram and 2,500 candy for all of those things. Every time you turn one of those in, you need an engram, you need some candy, throw those in there. For a randomized Festival of the Lost weapon, one eerie engram and 500 candy, and for a specific Festival of the Lost weapon, an eerie engram and 1,000 candy. So at least this gives me something to do with all the candy. Like, again, I don't like grind through these events every year, but just playing the event, I end up with a whole bunch of candy, because in the past it was throw it in the grab bag and see if you maybe get a thing, which by week 3 of the event, I don't need anything anymore.
No, and we talked about that last week, didn't we? With the grab bags, the grab bags have been around for ages, and there's normally a legendary one or a blue version, and
who's
normally,
using that?
It's normally. I mean, Respawn was moaning about it last week when we went over the stuff. That who wants to just keep throwing those candies in and getting blue armor or blue weapons or legendary weapons that you've already got that you don't really need anymore? And it was kind of a shard farm, but now it looks like it's not going to be that at all. It's going to be. It'll give you a bit of a purpose. And I think the good thing about this is that you can actually focus exotic armor pieces that, I mean, yes, you might already have them, but instead of going to Rahul in a couple of weeks' time when they do the update and having to give him an exotic engram, give him shards, give him glimmer, it's just going to be one of these eerie engrams and candy from just doing the event. So if you really want to focus on maybe getting like an armamentarium with a really good roll, or like something, we'll go through the list in a second, but just any kind of armor piece, and put your mods on your ghost, which we'll go through.
But,
you can actually
are the
focus
rolls
it
going to be
something.
high though? You can focus all day long, but if the rolls are going to be crap, then there's really no point. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to be a realist here. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, we can focus armor. Do we get anything higher than a 50 when we do it?
Only one way to find out.
Yeah.
And they do have a couple notes about the focusing before we tell you what you can get out of focusing. First off, you have to own the expansion where the armor came out in. You don't have to have the armor piece. You just have to have the expansion where the armor exists, so you can basically have it in your potential loot pool. Required expansions for each exotic are listed next to them below. The Forsaken pack counts towards the Forsaken expansion requirement, so if you have that, you're good. Players will not need to have acquired the armor piece before being able to focus it. So if you don't have one, congratulations, now this is your chance to get one. And players will only receive exotic armor for the class they are currently playing when interacting with the Hocus Focusing. So if you're sitting here on your Hunter going, I'd like Hunter armor, it's not going to hand you Warlock or Titan armor as it likes it in the past. When you're playing Roulette with exotics, sometimes you get things you're like, I don't want this. I don't need this. It doesn't help me.
Yeah, but that was like years ago. It's been years since you could get somebody else's exotic.
Yeah, but the damage is still done.
the trauma's there.
The trauma's still there. So before we get into our exotics, yes, Nitedemon, go ahead.
I was going to say, before we get into our exotics, we have weapons that you can focus from your eerie engrams. So we went over these last week. So you've got the heavy cosmic grenade launcher, which is the new one for this season, the primary horror story auto rifle, the energy Jurassic Green pulse rifle, and the energy macabre sniper rifle. The one that's missing from here is the Braytech werewolf. Yeah, so I don't know if they've accidentally missed it off or if it's not actually available in this season. And it's a really good auto rifle as well at the moment. So it may be there, it may not be there. Who knows?
Only one way to find out.
Like, do we know about any of the new roles? Are any of them going to have new fancy roles?
There are new roles on them.
Oh,
I can't tell you what they are offhand, but the nice internet did tell me this week there are new roles on them. So if you're going, I have all these from last year, or the one I wanted to keep, there are new roles on them with the new Nadir Focusing, or Nadir Focus.
Yes.
Origin perk.
Well.
We have descent in the ranks.
Well, some of them might have. So your Jurassic Green has Search Party, which is the origin trait that came with last year. So this weapon grants fast aim down sight speeds and movement speeds while aiming down sight while no allies are nearby. And Field Tested, which is defeating targets or dealing damage with this weapon gradually increase range, stability, handling, and reload speed. So those are your 2 origin traits on the rapid fire Jurassic Green pulse rifle. It can roll with incandescent, golden tricorn, frenzy, multi-kill clip, encore, collective action, and head seeker.
And what's this you're talking about? The pulse?
Yeah, the solar
Okay.
pulse. So it can also have subsistence, rangefinder, perpetual motion, killing wind, heal clip, loose change, and keep away.
Oh man, I was really hoping that we'd get a Gutshot Straight in the other column. Gutshot Straight paired with Head Seeker is actually a pretty powerful combination.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I've been farming with the Engrams that I totally didn't get from Iron Banner.
Mm-mm. You definitely wouldn't have gone in there.
Mm-hmm.
We baited him in with raids.
Nuh-uh. Mm-mm.
He saw us doing a raid and he was like, how dare you do a raid without
there
me?
is
And
no
then, as
proof
soon as he got
that I
there,
was
we switched and we went,
invisible.
haha, Iron Banner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anybody
like
who
Bungie
knows me
switched
knows that
and
that's
said,
not a thing.
haha.
Yep.
Bungie said it's definitely going to be control. It's going to be fine. And then Bungie switched and said, haha, tomorrow's release of Iron Banner will have the previously announced game mode changed to Eruption. So let's take you back to last week when Nitedemon's like, nope, they told us what it is. It's going to be fine. It's going to be set. And then Bungie said, plot twist. No.
Is it though?
It is.
So the horror story, that's the one that can roll with the Nadir Focus Origin trait or the Search Party.
Ah, okay. The Macabre Sniper Rifle only has the Search Party Origin trait on there for this year. But
Is that the one that looks like the Gundam sniper?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can have high impact reserves, Adrenaline Junkie, Vorpal Weapon, Volt Shot, Opening Shot, Higher Ground, Discord, with Keep Away, Auto Loading Holster, Triple Tap, Clown Cartridge, Snapshot Sights, Eddy Current, which is temporarily increases reload speed after sprinting. This effect is improved when you are amplified, and Demolitionist. That's a new one. I'm sure I haven't seen that one, Eddy Current. Have you guys got any weapons with Eddy Current on there?
I don't even know what that is. What
Yeah,
does it say?
It sounds like a rock star, really, Eddy Current.
Eddie
Yeah,
Vedder?
it's one I've seen, and I'm going. It's never rolled on anything that I wanted it on. So yeah, I've seen it drop. I can't remember what I had it drop on because I just deleted it in the purge.
What does
Yeah,
it
it's
do?
what I've. It's what Nitedemon just told us it did.
I don't remember hearing him say what it did. Did I zone out? What did you say?
Nitedemon, can you roll back like 30 seconds and tell Respawn what you just said Eddie Current did?
I'm not Iraqi debt. There's no win. So you Iraqi debt. No, and this is our mission. We this essential method now. Ja, för att jag är uppstöd för musik. Efter inget nöpsat för jag precis you can get messages. Iraqi debt. Perfect. Eddy Current, which is temporarily increases reload speed after sprinting. This effect is improved when you are amplified.
Yeah, that one. Which I really want on my sniper because I really enjoy being an amplified sprinting sniper.
Surprisingly, though, on this particular sniper, the Volt Shot isn't too bad because you only get the 3 rounds in a standard mag, right? So you can burn through 3 rounds, reload, and then have that that Volt Shot going, right? And is it still a thing where if you hit somebody with Volt Shot and you don't kill them, Volt Shot stays on them, or did they fix that?
No idea.
Okay, good talk.
Definite maybe.
It says while Volt Shot is active, your next weapon hit applies Arc Jolt and consumes the buff. If that helps.
That's what it said, but that's where and I can't remember if it was I can't remember who made the video of like testing the lost sectors where basically you could apply Volt Shot and it would apply you could basically stack the different effects because Volt Shot just wouldn't deactivate. And I can't remember how many weeks ago. I want to say it was a Fallout video, but anyway.
It was, and it was on it
was bugged for the longest time.
It was on a fusion rifle that he showed it. Well,
if we were better at this, we would go back and find and remember when this was. But yeah, maybe it's selected, maybe it's fixed. Who really knows?
If it is in fact not fixed, then this would be good because this is a the Macabre I'm talking about is a high impact sniper rifle, and if you can get Volt Shot to proc and stay proc like on a boss or a major or a champion, right? Then every follow up shot is going to do that Volt Shot damage, which is going to be even more powerful considering again this is a high impact sniper rifle. So if it's not fixed, that sniper rifle could be a contender for one of the high DPS weapons in the game.
Well, I mean, it was a good PvP one as well because you can get opening shot and you can also get snapshot sights on there as well.
And for those of you that were around, the game literally gave you that roll for the first one that you could get.
Yep,
So
it was
you
welcome
were
to the
there.
event. Here's your god roll.
Yeah. You missed out on the god roll already. But yeah,
Did
anyway.
I delete that one? Nope, kept that one from last year.
No, yeah, I've got that one from last year as well.
I
I was
checking.
just thinking, did that one make the cut? I'm pretty sure I locked it and said keep you. Even though,
Yeah.
again, it's never been fired. It's never left the vault, but it's sitting there at 1600, just waiting for its day to shine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, the one that they gave you even gave you 100 range on it. 100 range with 90
Mhm.
impact for a aggressive frame. And then I got another one that had opening shot and auto-loading holster, which I kept. And another one with high impact reserves and clown cartridge. Just for
So you've got
funsies.
3 that you've never fired. That's why
Possibly.
you're out of space.
Shh.
I mean, I don't know who
Look,
said
I mean,
that.
those are good rolls, though. So, I mean, those could absolutely be used at some point in time if one were to be
Yeah.
so inclined to do so.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Stop enabling me, but you know what I
I
mean.
am
those are
absolutely
really
not-
good rolls, though. You know,
I am absolutely
Yeah.
not disagreeing that those are good rolls and they could, in theory, be used at any given time. You are absolutely correct. In the
That is, in
multiverse,
fact,
somewhere
true.
there's a night demon who is loving those and using them all the time.
No.
You reckon?
Yeah,
No, I don't.
absolutely.
Night
Absolutely.
Demon is not exactly the king of snipers, all right? I don't
Oh,
really see him using...
I said in the multiverse, with enough night demons, you're going to find one. Just like somewhere out there, there's a Peroty out there who's absolutely, sniping and hand cannoning and is good at Crucible. It's not this version, but yes, out there in the multiverse, there could be somewhere.
So, and another thing, I cleaned out my vault. I got rid of every weapon that could be
You don't need 'em.
made, forged,
Crafted.
right?
Mhm,
Crafted.
mhm.
I got rid of all those. I got rid of all the weapons that didn't have unique rolls, especially like the BXR battle rifle. I have some of those. I have rolls that you can't even get anymore, so I hang on to those, right? And
Right.
then I got all my builds for my armor, and I deleted all the armor that I wasn't using that wasn't as good as what I had, right? And after doing all
Right.
of that, I went from 600 spots inside my vault to, are you ready for this? 585.
Well done.
You need
No,
to be
that's an
far
achievement.
more. You need to be far more ruthless.
It's
No,
only
no.
50.
No,
No,
but-
because everything else I have in there are either uniques.
Look,
Actually, that's it. Just unique weapons, because
Don't
all the armor
embarrass
that
the
I need
guy.
is on my hunter.
don't
you know?
embarrass him. Respawn, that is a very good achievement for you. That is more than a lot of hoarders actually, keep. So, it's a start if you want to keep going, but if not, just keep it at 15.
I mean, I don't really have a choice, right? Because we have all these weapons that are unique that either we can't craft or we can't get anymore, right?
Yeah.
And even the ones that are like that are max light level 16, I even got rid of all those, right? Which I didn't have a lot of them, to be fair. And I got rid of all my exotic weapons that I can just pull out of the
Collection. Mhm,
collections. Yep. So yeah, after doing all of that, I only freed up 15 slots. That's it.
That's good.
But that says that Bungie, even if we get rid of all the copies of weapons that we have, even if we get rid of all the ones that we can craft or whatever, right? Except for like the one crafted one that we've made. Even after we get rid of everything, we've still got so many unique weapons in this game that the weapons alone, without even having armor, ghosts, or sparrows in the vault, is enough to damn near fill up the vault.
Yep.
And they keep coming out with new weapons.
Yep.
And they're not sunsetting anymore. So,
Yep.
I mean, I know we've complained about vault space before, but Bungie, you're really making it a problem. If you're going to keep coming up with weapons, we have to have some place to put them, or at least like what we've talked about before, do what the Fortnite game does, and let us pick which one we want to keep in our collection, so we can then delete it and pull it out if we ever need to. Something needs to be done because this is ridiculous.
Well, I've got good news for you.
They're
I
not
don't
giving us
believe
more
you.
vault space.
I don't think you do.
I don't. It was a joke.
I know. No, I yeah, no, it's not a thing.
The good news is Nitedemon is also sitting with like 4 or 5 empty slots in his vault. I assume is what the good news is.
No, that's generous. That is too generous. Nitedemon has got 1 space in his vault at the moment, and his postmasters are slowly filling up.
Now, I did manage to get a workaround, though. I have now about 545 of 600, only because I took all of the Titan exotic armors, Warlock exotic armors, and I put them on their respective characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So by filling up all
those, that's where they live.
Yeah, right? So even though they can't be weapon mules, well, they can still be weapon mules. They can't be armor mules anymore because they have all their stuff now. So they're full on all their armor slots, which freed up vault space for me. But even that is slowly filling back up because I was down to 545, and after playing this week, I'm back up to 560. I'm just like, come on, Bungie.
I would love, Dim, of all the beautiful things Destiny Item Manager can do, I would love it if it had a way for me to search if I've ever used a weapon. Like, did I acquire this weapon and did I put it into the vault and has it sat there for like 3 years unfired,
like a
unused,
tracker, right?
brand new? Well, yeah, there's a kill tracker, assuming A, you have it set to the right thing, Crucible, PvE, PvP, and B, that, you have the kill tracker turned on at all. Because I think some of the weapons you need to like select one to begin with. Maybe they're defaulted by now, but going back through the years of this game. Because I've got loads of weapons. I just did a ruthless vault clean because I hit my max, and I said it's
Did
time.
you?
It's
really?
Wow. 494 of 600 is what I'm sitting at right now.
No, but you actually hit your max. I'm surprised because
because I've been hoarding onto weapons. I had 15 hung juries from when I was pulling those, trying to get a decent one. Like a whole bunch of the core duellos, like. A bunch of the event things I just throw in the vault and go, I'll sort you out later. Well, later finally came because it said, oh, you can't actually pull this from your postmaster. Your vault's full. So I said, it's time to purge. Because, the vault guns are not my children. They're just cattle. They live in the field. They graze. Some of them live. Some of them die. That's just how it is. It's survival of the fittest around here. We've got the half dozen weapons we use, and then the rest of them sit there probably forever.
I was just going to say that for you, it should be easy. You have your exotic, chain gun that turns you into an AC-130. You have a couple of legendary auto rifles, and you have a couple of pulse rifles, and then that's like your entire armory that you use, isn't it? So everything else, you just purge.
I've got a collection of basically anything that Dim has a thumbs up on. I keep, especially if I only have one of them. Especially if it says. I also went through and tagged the things with little thumbs up, whether it was a PvE or PvP role for me, aka on controller. So when I go and look, hey, what's a good PvP weapon that I can take in? I can just search the PvP tag now and it will tell me. So I did some actual sorting and tagged a couple things for infusion to actually keep around because I realized I was pulling old weapons that were 1600 and had nothing to infuse into them that I wanted to get rid of. So I have some 1810s just sitting there, just waiting as infusion fuel, just in case. Yeah, most of my vault is things with kill trackers on it, or it's. I basically went through and said what's the only archetype I have of this thing. Mm-hmm. So it's I want to keep at least one of those around in case that's the thing I need. And if I've got 6 of them, let me keep the one that's decent. Again. Right, at least I'll have the option. Maybe it'll be terrible, but at least I'll have one.
So, missing from the Jurassic Green from ones that I've actually got in my vault. So, I think the first year it came up, it didn't have an origin trait, but it had multi-kill clip in the final column. And last year, I believe, tunnel vision and heating up were in the second column, which don't seem to be there this year. So, Headseeker is a good one to have, and maybe Killing Wind, Headseeker Killing Wind, or Perpetual Motion Killing Wind, Perpetual Motion and Headseeker might be a good one for this year. But yeah, we'll see what kind of basically what Aztecross tells me I need. So there'll be another one added to the collection. I've got 4 at the moment. I might need a 5th.
Mm-hmm, probably.
Yeah. Right then. Are you actually excited about the Lost Sectors coming back? I just can't get over that, man.
Well, I'm excited that we've got Festival of the Lost back.
The costumes, the weapons, are weapons we've already had in the past.
The costumes do not suck. The costumes are really good fun.
They are terrible.
No,
You
they're
could
not.
be a cockroach or a Beetleborg, and Beetleborg is stretching it. If you actually did look like a Beetleborg,
Look.
that would bring back some fond memories of my childhood, and I wouldn't mind that. But it is loosely, and I do mean loosely, tied to the Beetleborgs. You know what I mean? So I don't know
what you
why
mean, but
anybody
I'm
would
gonna
want to be a
chicken.
cockroach to begin with, and then Beetleborgs are the other option. So it's not a great choice of armors, guys.
I'm going to be a chicken. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Your head's gonna be a chicken.
Yeah,
What's
the
your
fact that
armor
I
gonna
can-
be?
Also chicken. Maybe a chicken with gills. We'll find out. If they would just give me a fish head, then I can do a full fish look from last season's Under the Sea armor.
Yeah.
But alas, no.
But yeah, I'm a bit sad that we haven't got like the haunted branches back that they could have. I mean, because it's a node in the tower, I feel that they could have put that in the tower. It's something that
Right.
kind of maybe for next year. Maybe if we keep going on about it like we did with like legendary lost sectors and exotics, they might actually put it in for year 6, 7,
But
whatever year we're on.
Does anybody do you know of anybody who actually enjoys the Lost Sector content? The Lost Sector Halloween content? I have never from anybody
I'm
heard
sure
any
there's-
positive feedback for the Lost Sector stuff.
I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there somewhere. It's just a mini horde mode. You're just running around and playing a
It's not
tiny
even a
version of
horde
Gambit
mode,
at that
though,
point.
because it's a set number of things that you kill, and then a dude pops out, and then you kill them. Right? You have a time limit and you have a kill limit, so it's not even a horde mode. A horde mode would be like the branches, right? You have a timer, and the further you get, the longer that timer goes, and you could potentially get more levels depending on how good you are. That's a horde mode, right? What we have now is considerably not.
Well, yeah, I understand.
But what you've got to look at this is that we're going to be able to do the legendary lost sectors and the haunted lost sectors, and it potentially, I mean, they haven't said not that you could do these in like a fire team of 3 and still get those eerie engrams. Whereas if you're trying to farm for exotics to get an exotic engram to drop or an exotic to drop in doing lost sectors, you have to do them solo. So this is a good thing that you'll be able to do it with the fire team, generate candy, get those eerie engrams, and then actually focus if you want to into whatever you want. It's a good thing.
If the rolls are high, the focusing, I'm on board with the focusing, but what are the rolls going to look like? That's my thing. I don't want to focus and get low rolls. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I think they'd be very silly if they didn't allow you to just do focusing like normal focusing. So you have the potential to get a high stat roll rather than like something, if you pull it out of your collections, it's only at a 40 or 50.
Go over what you just said in your head, right? It would be silly if Bungie didn't, and just fill in that blank.
I know what you think.
I mean,
no, I know.
All right. I mean, I'm hoping for the best, but I'm really expecting the worst, especially with their recent, behavior, right? Just the fact that we have the lost sectors again does not really give me a giant degree of confidence at this point. Yeah.
Okay. Peroty, does it give you a degree of confidence? Are you excited to play this?
I'm still jumping and play it just because I enjoy checking boxes and getting things done. I mean, like, am I excited to do the lost sectors? I never have been excited to do lost sectors, but they're fine. I'm just glad I'm glad after a week of playing this, I'm not gonna have a pile of candy that I can literally do nothing with that I care about at all. Like
you might still have that.
Well, no, I'm absolutely at least gonna roll for turn them into auto rifles, pulse rifles, grenade launchers, and maybe a sniper. But let's be honest, no. I mean,
possibly armor.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the fact that I can at least turn them into something potentially useful and not go, well, there's a blue weapon option or armor option. I definitely don't want that. And legendary, why? No. Like at least I can. At least it gives me a way to focus. Hey, here's one of 4 things you could grab, and 3 of those things you care about as weapons. So you'll get something decent out of it. It's like none of the loot's incredible, but it's better than it has been. And again, like I didn't have high hopes. I didn't have like a major rework. The fact that there's this whole hocus focusing at all is at least, I mean, they've done a bunch of work on that piece. Going, at least you've made, even if the gameplay loop is the same, you've made what I'm getting out of that at least more enjoyable. At least it's not a total like, oh, I can get the 2 weapons from last year and whatever, and then I have a whole bunch of candy that I don't even want to spend because it's just things to put into my vault. So I'm excited from that aspect of it. Yeah, I mean, am I excited? No, but am I interested in playing the event? Yeah, absolutely.
You know what they could have done to go alongside of this, right? And hear me out. So it's a lost sector, right? Well, what if just as a bonus, not necessarily the whole Halloween event, obviously, because not a lot of people can do it. But what if they just had a Halloween themed Grandmaster? Where you can go into a Grandmaster Nightfall and get the same rewards that you would get from a Haunted Lost Sector if you completed it, or maybe a whole different set of something, right? But to be limited to Haunted Lost Sectors is ridiculous. So, put the haunted theme in another place in the game that we've never had a theme like that before. Haunted Grandmaster, or nightmarish trials, right? Where you get Halloween
spooky trials.
Spooky trials, yeah. Whatever.
We had spooky trials in Destiny 1, remember that?
Yep.
Where you'd have a spider ran across your screen. It was something they built into
Oh my god,
trials.
it did!
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yep.
Yeah,
we've
had terrified people when they were playing trials.
Out of me because I have built-in arachnophobia, and I saw it come across my screen. I legit thought there was a spider on my screen for like a fraction of a second. Yeah.
So if you're,
I know, I agree with you. Yeah, if they did something like that.
So if you're wondering why they didn't do that again, there's your answer.
How many fists have gone through screens because of that?
But I'm 100% on board. Like this would give me a reason to go play, honestly, anything under that Vanguard node. Is make it spooky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vanguard, Trials, PvP, and have Halloween themed maps, maybe Halloween themed weapon that you can get from there too. Just like instead of it being just the Lost Sectors, there's a lot of PvP players that hate doing Lost Sectors. There's a lot of PvE players that hate doing Lost Sectors. So, give us a different spot. Give us a Grandmaster, or just a Nightfall, or just, an Iron Banner that's spooky in nature or something. I don't know, man, but just expand your horizons, Bungie. You have supposedly all these game devs. Do something new. You utilize your creativity. Stop repeating things, man. Just for the love of God, I know the game is, coming to an end with the whole, the quote potentially last expansion on the horizon, but it doesn't mean that you can just be lazy at this point. Don't give up on the game. You still have a ton of players that are addicted to the game that have no idea why they're addicted, but you do. So if you're gonna have that kind of fan base, instead of taking advantage of them, make them excited to be like, you know what, this is why I'm addicted to Bungie. I can get on board with this, right? So come on, man, do something for your fans that's just not repetitive content.
Put masks on the thrall that run at me. Give them little Halloween costumes. Make them little ghosties. Make the thrall run me.
Take their heads off. Make them throw exactly. Yeah. Yes. Give
the enemy costumes and give me a PvP mode where I can throw either candy or like pumpkins at each other. Give me a PvP mode where it's like the ones with the stupid fire cannons that my brain is breaking at the moment. Except make them. Let me throw flaming pumpkins at each other. Turn that mode.
Yeah, we did something similar to Christmas with the snowballs, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that a thing? You could throw snowballs?
Mm-hmm. Give me a game mode that's just that. It's silly. It's fun. It's good times. It's a silly.
You can throw pumpkin heads.
Yeah.
Like in Sleepy Hollow.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was just getting at with the snowball thing. Like, we've thrown snowballs before. Why can't we throw flaming pumpkin heads? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So next year, Bungie, what we'd like to see is more spooky trials, or just put it in Crucible, like things as you walk around the corners, like a ghost just standing there. That people, if you're first in that map, you don't know it's there, and maybe they pop up and disappear, and spooky noises, and then in like strikes and the Nightfall, make the Nightfall specific for those 3 weeks. Just make them all spooky.
Yeah. And remember how for what was the game mode where like it's a PvP mode, but like the turrets pop up in the middle and you have to kill the turrets and capture the point? What was that?
Fortress.
Well, instead of turrets, make them, the headless knights that pop up and they chase you, whoever's close by, something like that.
Yeah.
It's not complicated to do.
Give me
some pumpkins so we can throw at people.
Yeah.
And things.
Give me supremacy with pumpkin heads. Kill a guy, grab his pumpkin head, and then you have to throw it at somebody else. A twist on supremacy with pumpkins.
Ooh.
And yeah, Team Scorch.
That's a
Scorch is
great
what I was going to think
idea.
of. Yeah, so there goes. Supremacy and Scorched. Give me a combination of that with pumpkin heads. There you go. There's your Halloween event.
Somebody, they drop a flaming pumpkin head, and you can throw that at somebody else. That Peroty, he's on to something. Bungie, hire this guy and me. Hire us. Yes.
Well, I think they do need to hire somebody with a little bit more of a kind of idea of how triumphs work. I mean, they started off all right this week with Soul Sorcery, so defeating combatants anywhere in the system with the damage type that matches your subclass, and you can earn bonus progress from combatants in Haunted Lost sectors during the Festival of the Lost. You have to get 1,000 kills, which I can see can be done over 3 weeks. That's fine. Sun and Moon is defeating people here with Void and Solar in Altars of Summoning, so we kind of went off task with that one. Into the Unknown, complete Lost sectors on Neptune, Savathun's Throne World, or on Europa. Haunted Lost sectors also grant progress during Festival of the Lost, 100 of them. Then we have Moon activities, where you can do public events, patrols, Lost sectors. So hopefully the Moon one is back in there, and that counts towards the Moon activities.
Would be nice.
Bungie. We spoke about this, I'm sure it was last month, not last month, last season.
Yeah.
So we are week 8 at the moment.
Mid-season.
Right? And Iron Banner is up this week. And I know, yes, we've got another Iron Banner that's coming towards the end of the season. Why in the hell? Week 9 of challenges, we have a challenge that says Eyeing Iron. Complete Crucible, complete Crucible matches and bonus progress in Iron Banner for victories. Surely that should have been up week 8.
Listen, the Iron Banner team and the Calendar team don't talk to each other, okay?
No.
They try to
it's
put
the same
the
people that
calendar,
made the decision to swap it at the last second, isn't it? These are the same
100%.
people. Yeah.
Yep, that's absolutely right.
It's not going to be Eruption. We told you what it's going to be. Just getting into Eruption. Which is also because I think because Lorelei is still destroying everything. I think I've heard that's the reason for it. I'm going to guess it's still breaking zones. So they were like, we can't do zones. Zones are not.
Don't get me started on that. Right, the Crucible rotation, for season 22 has been right. Momentum Control, Mayhem, Team Scorched, and then it went Momentum, Mayhem, and Team Scorched. And then week 7, right? So
Hold on, was it Momentum, Mayhem, and Team Scorched again?
Momentum, Mayhem, Team Scorched, right?
What?
So that goes for.
That blew me away. What are the odds?
It does that for 6 weeks, and then week 7, Momentum, Mayhem this week, and guess what's next week?
Is it Scorched?
No, it's back to Momentum. I'm like, Bungie, please. Or unless they've got it wrong on their notification on screen that they put up on Friday, which has happened. So it's like, I've done a whole video and now you've made me think I've got to take that out and re-put. It's like, I hate you, Bungie. I hate you. I was all prepared. I've got my rotations written down.
Bungie, did you see what you've done to him? One of your most loyal supporters, and this is what you reduced him to. Are you proud? Are you happy?
Give me heartburn. Give me something. But yeah, so next week should have been Team Scorch, but they say it's going to be Momentum Control.
Oh, the chat said make the warlocks or the wizards actually look like witches. That could be a thing too. Yeah, give them like little witch hats, maybe a broom in their hand or something. Make them look like witches.
Let them fly around on brooms.
There you go.
Yeah, there's so many
cosmetic change. Makes a difference.
Yeah.
World of difference is what I meant to say. Yeah.
So we do have a list of exotic arms, helmets, and chest pieces and boots to go through.
We don't have to go through.
I think
because we don't know what exotics your class has, right? Right?
No. But listen. I think it would have been a lot easier for them to go, hey, these are the ones that you cannot focus. Everything else is free game as long as you own the expansion. But no, they decided in their infinite wisdom to list every single armor piece that you can get. So for your enjoyment and your enjoyment only, for the hunters, we have the Aeon Swifts, the Mechanist Trick Sleeves, the Sealed Ahamkara Grasps, the Shinobi's Vows, Young Ahamkara Spine, the Forsaken Shards of Galanor, the Forsaken's Oathkeepers, Forsaken's Kepri Sting, the Forsaken's Lyre Handshake, Beyond Light's Athris's Embrace, the Witch Queen's Renewed Grasps, and the Witch Queen's Caliban Hand.
So I think the Moth Keepers, the brand new ones isn't in that list.
Yeah.
And I think I heard you say, I'm just looking at the list of them.
I think it's everything up to the Witch Queen. So anything that is for Lightfall isn't in there, basically. So AC/DC feedback fence for the Titans, the Aeon Safes, the Ashen Wakes, the Doomfang Pauldrons, the Syntheseps, Wormgod Caress, the Ursa Furiosa, the Stronghold, the Titan's Rampart, Icefall Mantles, No Backup Plan, Second Chance. Warlocks, we have the Aeon Souls, Claws of Hamkara, the Karnstein Armlets, the Sun Bracers, Ophidian Aspects, Winter's Guile, Controverse Hold, Getaway Artist, Necrotic Grips, Nothing Manacles, and the Osmiomancy Gloves.
But you may be saying, what can you wear on your legs, Night Demon?
Well,
you can have on your legs? Tell us.
You can have if you're a hunter, you can have the Frosties, the Gemini Jesters, the Lucky Pants, or the Luxy Pants, as they like to call them, the Orpheus Rig, the Stompies. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. LUKCY, the Luxy Pants. They're like the Luxy Pants, but they're a little bit less lucky.
I'm sure it's a bit like the spoops at the top. Somebody obviously hasn't done their spell check this week. The Stompies, the Bombardiers, the Star Eater Scales, the Radiant Dance Machines. Titans have the Doom Archers, Lion Rampart, Mark 44 Standardides, the Peacekeepers, the Antaeus Wards, even though you don't really want them anymore. The Peregrine Greaves, the Phoenix Cradle, the Path of the Burning Steps. And for the Warlocks, we have the Lunafaction Boots, the Transverse Steps, the Geomag Stabilizers, the Promethean Spur, Boots of the Assembler, Secant Filaments, and the Rain of Fire. Over to you, Peroty, for the helmets.
Right, for helmets, you've got Celestial Nighthawk for your hunters. Our hunter ones, Celestial Nighthawk, Foe Tracer, Graviton Forfeit, the Knucklehead Radar, your Wormhusk Crown, your Assassin's Cowl, your Mask of Bakris, your Blight Ranger, and for your Titans, we've got the Insurmountable Skullfort, the Eternal Warrior, Helm of Saint 14, Capri's Horn. Sorry, it took me a minute there.
Yeah.
Mask of the Quiet One, the One-Eyed Mask, Precious Scars, and the probably broken, maybe disabled Laurely Splendor. And for the Warlocks, we've got the Apotheosis Veil.
Apotheosis Veil.
Apotheosis Veil, that one. Mm-hmm.
Come here.
The Crown of Tempest, the Eye of Another World, the Nezarec Sin, the Skull of Dire Amankara, the Stag, the Verity's Brow, the Astrocyte Verse, the Fellwinter's Helm, the Dawn Chorus, and the Fallen Sunstar. And to round it out, your exotic chests for your hunter are Lucky Raspberry, Ophidia Spaith, Raiden Flux, the Dragon Shadow, the Sixth Coyote, the Guizen Vest, Raiju's Harness, the Omni Oculus, and the Falcon's Hauberk.
Falcons.
Mm-hmm. It's just the Falcon. It's just a small bird.
Okay.
Because there's the man who loves it when we mess up that word every single time.
Arf told us, didn't he? Came in specifically told us it's Falcons.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We got told off.
We did. And what I'm telling you off is there's the Actian War Rig for the Titan, the Armamentarium, the Crest of Alpha Lupi, the Hollow Fire Heart, which no one's thought about, the Heart of Inmost Light, the Severance Enclosure, the Cures of the Falling Star, and the Hoarfrost Z, which also no one's thinking about. The Sanguine Alchemy for the Warlocks, also your Starfire Protocol, Vesper of Radius, Wings of Sacred Dawn, the Chromatic Fire, Phoenix Protocol, Storm Dancer's Embrace, and the Mantle of Battle Harmony. Round out your Warlocks, and those are all the things you can get. So if you didn't hear the thing that you want, you can't get it. Because there's your list. Again, it would have been easier to say, here's the 3 things you can't get, but that's not how we're doing it here. We're going to give you the entire list. Night Demon, do you like mementos?
I do, and I'm a bit worried about mementos, because with mementos, you can only get one for whatever you're playing in before you can before you put it onto a weapon to then go and get another one. So, yeah, I'm a bit worried about that, because if I get one and I forget to put it on the weapon, and I'm lucked out, especially with like my Gambit ones. I get one, it sits in my inventory, and I forget it's there, and I think, why am I not getting Gambit mementos when I play Gambit?
You can get one to end up in your Postmaster. I'm not sure exactly how, but I do have one on my character and one sitting in my Postmaster that's just been there forever.
Okay. So you're saying there's a chance?
I'm saying there's a chance.
You get it to go to your postmaster because the spot that it normally goes in your inventory was full at the time, so it didn't have anywhere to go, so it went to your postmaster.
Ah,
And
so
that's
fill
gonna live
up
forever.
your inventory first,
It'll be there forever.
Mhm.
and it
At
will
least
go
you've
to
gotten
your.
one. I still haven't gotten a Gambit one to drop, man.
Oh, I've gotten a half dozen or so that I just
Yeah,
throw
I've
into
got
weapons
quite a
randomly,
few.
going, why not? Let me just. It's the only one I'll ever have. So, well, now I guess I'll have some for the Festival of the Lost. But I am sort of curious what I can, because they're like, hey, we're giving you one, and it's going to make your weapons look like a new black leather car or something.
Look, let's face it, it's just for the hunters. It's because the
Mhm.
hunters do like a bit of black and leather, so they're going to go with the all black. Memento.
We just like the idea of noir. That's all, right? You're making us sound like bondage fetish, people. We're not.
No.
Well,
You
I
said
mean,
that.
you-
Nobody else thought that.
You do worship Dead Orbit, so I'm just saying there's a chance.
Dead Orbit didn't wear black leather.
Only because they didn't
They're
have the
black-
opportunity
black
yet.
shaders.
Just wait till after this event. You're going to see every hunter get their memento, put it into their weapon, get their weapon to level 30, unlock whatever shader it's going to unlock for you, and then you're all going to run around in black leather. It's going to happen. By this time, next week, everyone will be running around as black leather hunters. That's just how it is.
Well, the weapons and whatever kind of shader you can kind of pair with that. But yeah.
Mhm.
So just like the usual, this memento is a random drop that will come in the form of an Eerie Engram. It won't begin immediately, which basically says to me that there's a bug that they're not admitting as yet. But we're sure you'll triumph over any challenges that may be between you and looking snazzy as heck, or at the very least snazzy as your loadout. So
I know
straight to the
you feel
hunters.
about it.
That's getting to the hunters. That sentence.
It is.
Look,
So it's either going to
it's not
drop
even me. There are other people
immediately
saying that you're being
or be
classist,
totally broken.
Demon.
Or do you have to do a challenge, like a one for the rest of the lot?
Yeah.
For the festival. Of the Lost?
What? Did you have a stroke?
I did have a stroke just then. Let's not just point that out.
Yeah. I'm sure.
See, we had to rewind him a little bit earlier, and now his tape's just a little bit off. It's kind of getting eaten by the cassette tape, by the cassette player. It happens.
Yep.
You see, if you use Pro Amp, right, it allows you to adjust your volumes, not your volume slider, your audio slider to match up with the video. So you can just adjust that slider to get yourself back on track there, but
So does he need a USB port, or does that come on the 5-inch floppy?
it's software. He just needs to download it, like they do in the Matrix. Just plug it in the back of his head, upload it, and he's good. Yeah.
Anyway,
have you seen that beautiful Strike Team update, PvP Strike Team update for checkmate spawning and more? I know Respawn's even more excited now that we've baited him in with some black leather for his hunter. Now we're going to tell him all about checkmate, and then he's going to check all the way back out. He's been checkmated out of the show entirely. He's gone off somewhere.
No,
now.
Checkmate. That's the one that I like, right? That's the one that's like Call of Duty.
It is.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Have you played any of it?
Have you set foot
No.
into it? Well, guess what? Maybe this will do the thing. Let's see. Okay, so bear with us. They plan on making frequent iterative changes to the modifier. So some of the changes you would expect to see soon are your adaptive hand cannons will once again 3-tap at any resilience. Ooh. Rapid fire pulse rifles will.
I thought you said it was going to bring me in.
Well,
that makes me want to run away.
I'm saying there's a chance. Rapid fire pulse rifles will 3-burst at 6 resilience. High impact pulse rifles will 2-burst at 4 resilience with all critical hits, which was updated after they originally posted this.
Jesus Christ! Really, Bungie?
And they're going to reduce the heavy ammo spawning frequency, either again or for the first time, because they reduced it once already.
No, listen to that. Okay, first of all, almost everyone, obviously I'm not going to say everyone because there's some outliers, but almost everyone is running 10 resilience in PvP, right? So what they're really saying is rapid fire pulse rifles will take at least 4 bursts to kill, and high impact pulse rifles will take at least 4 bursts to kill, right? Because who rocks 6 or even 4 resilience in Crucible? Or not just Crucible, but PvP in general, right? This is nonsense. This is what he's saying. They're trying to pull you in with the first half. You know that whole "they had me in the first half, I'm not going to lie" thing. That's what they're trying to do. They're like, "Oh, it can 2-burst with a high impact." Yeah, if they have 4 resilience or less.
Before you start throwing out accusations about things that are happening, go in and play the game mode, because It is very different. And like we were talking last week, Peroty and I, about it being quite jarring with the things, I did actually enjoy playing the survival, which is the 3v3, your spawns
Were you
deplete.
rocking 10 resilience when you went in?
Of course I was.
Exactly.
Of course, everybody.
But I
was.
always do. I've always done.
Exactly. That's the
Even
point I'm making.
Even when you ridiculed me way back when and said the resilience doesn't do anything, everything that I had was resilience before they changed
back
everything.
Then resilience didn't do anything unless you were a Titan.
Yes,
and then
but
Bungie,
I had the forethought, didn't I, to think everything's going to go resilient.
People that they are were like, hey, Titans need resilience for their barricade, right? Yes, they do. Why not? Hear me out. Make everyone have to use resilience so the Titans can just have a free stat. Yeah, how about that?
Yeah. So, but
why not make mobility mean something, Bungie?
I've enjoyed it this week. They were very close games again, but I think I feel it is the game mode for hand cannons. It doesn't seem to be.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go in there and
aside from PvE.
Yes.
Is there any PvP mode that isn't for hand cannons?
Regular Crucible, you can compete against hand cannons.
Yeah,
quite easily.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Regular Crucible. There are certainly some hand cannons, sure, but there's a way more variety of weapons that people are using and having success with, and sitting at top leaderboards with. It is not all hand cannons.
I obviously have not been in Iron Banner in multiple seasons, but if I had been in Iron Banner this week for 2 days in a row, then I would know that the hand cannons, even in something like Iron Banner, are not only 3-tapping consistently, but there's a number of them that are 2-tapping consistently.
Yes, but that is to do with how they're set up.
But is everything you're getting killed by a hand cannon? Is it like the battle days where everything was a hand cannon? Okay, well, I'll caveat that.
Especially Ace of Spades. Good God, Ace of Spades, man.
Okay, I'll caveat this by saying on the console side of the house, because I forget you're in the PC side of the house when you're on. So on the console side of the house, I'm seeing a lot more. I mean, some hand cannons, yes. A lot of bows, a lot of auto rifles, some pulse rifles, Graviton Lance, just as its own category. I'm not seeing a lot of SMGs, but again, we're also playing on, a lot of these maps are larger maps. So it's more engagement at range. I mean, a lot of shotguns, a lot of, sniper and shotgun, sniper and whatever's, now
that you mention it, I remember a lot of Warlock wells with bow users just standing inside of it.
Oh yeah, 100%. We're walking to checkmate was, welcome to the game, sir. Here's your Adept Igneous Hammer. Oh, you don't have one? Well, you can go in there. I wouldn't recommend it though. That was checkmate control. Now I didn't play survival this week because I've played about 3 hours this week and it all went to Iron Banner so I could gild my title. But I mean, it was literally, if you're not running an Adept Igneous Hammer, why are you here? Iron Banner is very much, you can have success with a number. I mean, there are people with centrifuges, people with bows, and not always exotic bows. There's just on the console side, there's just a much greater diversity of weaponry you're being murdered by and murdering with. It's not all one archetype.
Who was it that was with us that I kept yelling, dude, I keep getting one shot by the damn bow. Point of the stack, remember? Yeah. He's like, that you can't get one shot by that. He goes, boom. Oh my God. I just got one shot by it. I'm like,
it was me.
I told you.
It was me. We were having the conversation. Yeah. It's like, oh my God.
I promise you I'm getting one shot, dude.
The funny thing is, I was listening to the Blueberry Lounge, our sister podcast, or one of our sister podcasts earlier today, and Sweaty Spooks was talking about how he went into Trials of Osiris the weeks that they had the Igneous Hammer up because he was looking for a specific role. And he said it was really funny because the role that he ended up really kind of loving was one with precision instrument. And he said he used the god role that he thought he was going to go for. And it didn't kind of feel like the gun that he thought it was going to be. But the precision instrument one, he absolutely loves now. He said it is the one that he's using. And he said that he found that because it says...
What, bow?
You just it's the hand cannon. The Igneous Hammer. So dealing sustained damage increases precision damage. So he said when he's hitting headshots, it increases the headshot damage as well. He said, if you miss a shot, you kind of really pay for it. But that's how kind of people are kind of two-tapping people, especially if they've got another buff to give them extra damage somewhere else, or they're standing in a well, or etc. etc. So I thought that was quite interesting that he was pointing that out, that it was a role that he wasn't actually looking for and he was going to delete, but it was one that kind of he used and found, oh, this is going to be able to kind of two-tap people, a bit like the point of the, is it the point of the stag, isn't it? You said?
One of the stag, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one-shotting. It was one-shotting, and here's the thing, guys. I know, obviously, if they're standing in a rift or a well, it, depending on the role, it could potentially one-shot. I get that, right? But these are just like people running around just one-shotting you. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out how they were doing it. And we did figure it out, but honestly, I forgot. But there's a role you get on the point of the stag where if you kill somebody, like you get a damage buff that will let you one-tap from that point forward. And I was like, that is nuts, man.
Again, precision instrument. So weapon hits grant a stacking precision instrument for 1.25 seconds, 2.1 seconds on bows. So it's a lot longer on the bow. Maximum stack of 6 stacks, and missing removes all stacks. So the precision damage that you get is increased. It says at 1 to 2 stacks is, where is it?
Which creates a snowball effect at that point.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So 4.17%. 8.33, 12.5, 16.67, 20.83, and then 25% for the 6 stacks. So if you're getting that in Crucible with the point of the stag, that's going to be kind of one-shotting people, especially if you're kind of just hitting the shots. It's sustained damage. It's not precision damage, but sustained damage increases the precision damage. So, yeah.
So you could tag somebody twice in the chest, finish them off with a headshot, and now you've got that stack for the next person that you encounter.
Well, the thing is, with Eruption, because you don't necessarily have to get the kill for it to kind of, you could just have tapped that person and then somebody else kind of got the kill. That then stacks, you then tap another person, that then stacks, you tap another person, and then you can go on your rampage and just do like the headshots with the precision damage and get one-shot kills.
Depending on compare that with like Archer's Tempo. Oh, Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Archer's Tempo, throw the wild card origin trait on there with it creating the experimental sub-munitions, basically like the little Telesto bolt at the person's location if people are grouped up, and oftentimes they're grouped up. Yeah.
Yep. And then you have the Golden Tricorn, which by itself gives what 50% increase. Hold on. I think it's 50, right? Let me look. Matching grenade or powered melee kills while the buff is active grant 50% increase in damage for 10 seconds. So
yeah.
50% increased damage on a bow.
Yep.
That's a lot. That's a lot of damage, So, yeah, if they have Archer's Tempo paired with either Golden Tricorn or the Precision Instrument, I could see how that could get going real quick. Or even, how many stacks can you get on Swash? 33% with max, if you melee somebody and then get that max stacks on Swash, that's 33% right there, right?
Yeah.
So, daggone.
Exactly.
That is a nasty bow. That is a very nasty bow.
I was actually enjoying Eruption this week. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it, but it seems to be a little bit more fun than it was the first time it came around. I don't know whether that's because the matchmaking is different and we're actually facing people that are a bit more at our skill level. But we did have good fun. Peroty, we found a really good fun build that really annoyed people. Well, I say we found it. We saw somebody else doing it, and then we went, we can use that against you.
That's the best.
Oh, the wells with the toasters?
Yeah, we were coming up against well warlocks that were just like, they would plant down a well, and then just everybody would be in the well. And they would just decimate. So we thought, well, we've got a couple of warlocks on our team. Let's do the same thing.
We can do that, yeah.
We had 3 warlocks. Like, hey, I got a well, boom, my well's gone. It's all right, I got one, boom, my well's gone. It's all right, I got one, boom. Golly.
That's beautiful.
Look, we didn't necessarily win every game, but it was hella fun.
But you laughed your heads off doing it.
It would have been fun if I was there, so I could totally see.
Oh, that's that's awesome. Yeah, I started. Again, I basically got on last night, played for 2 hours, and played for an hour this morning because I hadn't touched Iron Banner. I'm like, I need to gild my title, and I just want to go play Iron Banner because I really enjoy it. Started out with Arc, that didn't last long. Switched over to my Void build, and just I've been running Monte Carlo because I'm trying to get the stupid Catalyst done, and because it's not a rifle, why not? And I have an Aisha's Embrace Scout rifle that I really enjoy. that's got perpetual motion and multi-kill clip on it with high cal rounds, flew to barrel. And that I've just been, because again, like there's so much range that people are engaging with that I've been really, really enjoying that scout rifle this week. So I'm running around with those two and just having a really good time with Void. Just, you know,
for the new guys, what kind of scout is that? Is that a rapid fire? Is that a high impact? Is that an adaptive?
It is a rapid fire frame, 260 RPM. And with the full auto, you can just sit there and go, you can peek this doorway, or you can peek up, you know, that's where you just ducked into cover. I can sit here and just go pop, 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 where you are in cover and go, no. As soon as you stick your head back out, you're dead. You're mine. So I've been really enjoying that and just running around with the Void build going, I have a banner shield, and just taking that banner shield and holding it in front of my teammates going, all right, lads, we're going this way. Come with the nice man with a giant shield, and just laying waste to people as a group, as a force, because people are actually staying together more.
Yeah.
Which is good fun. And then I switched over to the banner shield just for the last couple of games, just to try it out. Mixed results, but it's fun. It's fun to get the banner shield going and just to be able to slash at people with those big giant crab claws.
The build that, and everybody knows I am not what you would consider a pro PvP player, right? So one of our guys, Don, was all about the toaster, right? And I was like, you know, I think there was already like 2 people using the toaster. I'm like, well, hell, if we're going to be degenerates, might as well do it as a team and everybody grab the toaster, right?
Yeah.
So I grabbed it.
End of the well,
and I was rocking the Ahamkara Spine, which, if you don't know, makes trip mine stronger, right? And when you damage somebody with a trip mine, you get trip mine energy back. Or when somebody's lit on fire, you get trip mine energy back, right? So because of that, I was rocking the trip mine build, which was getting a ton of kills on its own. And then the toaster on top of that. It's just like, once I started running that as a pair, you know, I was first or second most games, you know, and then Micah joined and I was pretty consistently second. And I was just like, you see what I was talking about? Before I put on the toaster, I was middle of the pack, right? And then you give some guy like me, who's not exactly a high-class player, a toaster, which is basically point and click, and now I'm sitting at the top of the leaderboard, right? So it is absolutely a broken point and click, you know, PvP monster. It's ridiculous, man. It almost wasn't even fair. And then the more games we played, the more toasters we saw on the enemy teams.
You felt it was more fair as you went.
No, I just realized how degenerate the entire scenario was, man.
I think that we actually incited that. I think the problem was because we all started putting on the toaster.
No, that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
They put on the toaster, and it was just like toaster versus toaster, and who could get the quickest kill.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's nothing more aggravating and just defeating when you're like laying into someone again with whatever weapon you're shooting at, and you're hitting them. You're landing the headshots. You're seeing the numbers. You're like, I'm gonna kill you. Then all of a sudden you hear that bing, and then you're just dead. Because
what was that noise, Peroty?
That was a big and
bing
of that Jotun triggering, firing you, and you're like, I could move, but I'm gonna accept my fate at this point. I mean, maybe you get the trade, maybe you just die, but there are so many Jotuns. They decreased as the day went on yesterday, but man, there are a couple of matches where it's just like, you can use whatever you want. I'm just gonna nuke you with this toaster and be done with it.
That's basically it, yeah, right. And there was one point where I was dying and I couldn't really focus on the game because I had tears in my eyes. But me and another guy got Jotuns at the same time, and I swear to you, I saw them pass through each other and then kill us both simultaneously.
They just waved each other. It's like, oh, fancy seeing you here.
Exactly right, dude. I was just like, this is ridiculous. This gun needs to not be in PvP. Remove this from PvP. Remove hand cannons from PvP, and that's just it. The game will be a better place for it. Just
let them fight with pumpkins.
Get rid of all of them.
Give everybody pumpkin scorched. Team pumpkins. I don't care what you call it. Just give me a pumpkin on fire. Let me throw it at my teammate. Throw it at the other team or my teammates. Hey, it's up to me. Heal clip on a flaming pumpkin. I'm into it.
So pumpkins are naturally, like, especially when you set them on fire, they have kind of a stickiness to them. So maybe you could throw a flaming pumpkin at your teammate. It's
just napalm at that point,
and he can run into combat.
Yeah.
It is napalm.
It's just Telesto in its solar form. That's all it is. It's just a solar Telesto. We've invented solar Telesto, and now the game is broken.
No, we're not inventing a solar telesto, Bungie. That's not a thing. Please don't listen to Peroty.
We just did. You said it's going to have sticky ammo that you can stick to people and have them run into things. That's a telesto. We just made it solar with pumpkins.
No. No, we don't need two things breaking the game. Okay,
Yeah, we do.
It's a solar pumpkin, and we'll leave it at that. Putting the name Telesto on anything, as we've seen, Telesto's cousin also breaks the game. So stop naming things Telesto because you're incurring the wrath of the Telesto gods.
All right. Well, I won't do that. Well, what I will incur is the wrath. I will not incur any ratches. I will incur wraths of people who enjoy some matchmaking or don't enjoy matchmaking or really enjoy screaming about matchmaking on the internet. Because with the mid-season patch coming, on Tuesday, basically as you hear this, if you're not listening to it live, Bungie is compressing the skill bands used in matchmaking in the control playlist. So basically, think of it as reducing the number of divisions in the skill band. The results are that more players will be in each division and therefore more matches. Yay! Quicker matchmaking times, and you can continue to recognize differences in skills, and now you'll all be thrown together, and it's probably going to be the same, but we'll see.
I just think it's a way for YouTubers to pray and roll people, but whatever.
And they do say, with this change, your matchmaking experience for your first match or two will be out of sync until your skill gets remapped. So if you go play 2 or 3 games, keep with it. Let it. It's just like, the beginning of the new season, if you were doing competitive or something, it sort of has to figure out, are you a 4.0 KD player? Are you a 0.01 KD player? And let's sort of put you where you should belong in a couple of matches. So, stick within the control playlist. If you're interested, if you're not interested and still aren't going to play it, then that's really not going to matter for you. And they just do continue to say, just like they always have, they're going to be looking at matchmaking and making changes as they see fit. As, people scream about one thing, then they'll put it back the other way until we scream about that. Then we'll go back to where we started. Because that is the way of matchmaking.
You never, ever gonna find a matchmaking that makes everybody happy.
Correct. But maybe we
Just-
can find spawning that makes everybody happy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
As we all know, there are some long-standing issues with spawns, such as spawn trapping, spawn flipping, not spawning at all. They've made a few changes in recent seasons, and then reverted some of those changes, went back to the drawing board, and here they are again with some other changes. They're going to make a new stab at it, and they're going to do less systemic and more targeted changes. So we're looking specifically to address issues on the Ultra Flames and Cauldron. We don't expect to fix every issue, but if we succeed in resolving some of the more frustrating ones, then they'll call it a win and continue to basically iteratively go and try to fix these issues sort of map by map, case by case basis versus going, we're going to fix them all. And then, of course, no, they aren't, because there's always more things.
Look, I would like to just put it out there that if it's easier for me to not spawn into the game, if there's going to be somebody in that area, I would rather not spawn in, and that you put that sign up to say, oh, by the way, this is, we're waiting for something to kind of, waiting for like a spawn location, rather than spawn me in with the enemy right behind me and I get killed and then I have to wait to spawn in again. I'd rather have that nice little wait. I mean, it happened so many times in Iron Banner. It's happened. I played Rumble this week. Just don't ask me why. But just the amount of times that I'm like with my back against the wall, somebody still spawned in right next to me, and I'm like, I just don't know. I don't get it. But I will give them their due. They have changed the spawns on the one on the Throne World, the Disjunction. Completely threw me the other week because it doesn't spawn you right at the kind of that very edge of the map, right at the back on the 2 spawns. It kind of spawns you closer to the C and the A flags, and off to the side. I'm like, oh, completely kind of thrown where we kind of spawn in from. So. That they tried.
I've played on Disjunction Iron Banner this week, and I honestly don't remember where I spawned.
Is that the new big map?
Yeah,
not the new big one, not the new big one.
Not the next one, the Technicolor one.
Yes,
the other one, the one that everybody hates.
The only one in the Throne World, yeah, the one in the swamp where you have to run a marathon just to get killed to run a marathon again. Now that you mentioned, I do remember. I remember not thinking, oh, I now have to run my marathon just to get murdered again, or just to start murdering again. So yeah, it wasn't. Not so much that I recognize it or realize it. It was more like, oh, this is less frustrating. Didn't really think about why or what had changed. So good job, Bungie.
Yeah, the new Technicolor map, I don't know what it's called because this is the first time I've been on it. But the new one, it's huge. The fact that you can ride a sparrow because it's that big is a red flag.
No, but you can only ride a sparrow when it's Iron Banner.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of the map, not on the edges of the map, but in the middle of the map, there's all these pitfalls that if you don't know the map, you may or may not have fallen into one or two of them as you're turning a corner.
100%. I'm going to hop over this wall and no, you aren't. Yeah, multiplex. Yeah, multiplex is good for going. You're going to lunge right into this hole, and there you go. Goodbye. Whee.
Yeah. And then I think it was that. No, it was a different map that I spawned, and I was alone initially, and then a guy spawned next to me, and I started engaging with him, and then a guy spawned next to him, and then they just wiped me out. I'm like, are you serious? I didn't even have a chance to move, and two people spawned next to me. Get out of here.
Yeah, I was in a gunfight in Iron Banner. I killed the guy. He killed me. We spawned in the same place. He ran in front of me, and it takes you a while to kind of realise. I was thinking, hang on a minute, he's not on my team. So I started shooting him, and he's like, "Oh God,
I'm not the only one."
I was like, how is that fair that we literally, you could see the animation of us both spawning in, him just in front of me. And when you first spawn in, you don't have the nameplate. So I was like, I ran along thinking it was my own teammate, but it wasn't. It was the enemy team, the guy that had just killed me. And he's like, oh God. So,
the enemy of my enemy. No, wait, you're just my enemy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're just going to jog to the middle of the map together. Oh, wait, we're on different teams.
Yeah. No. He's from England, right? So they do the gentleman's thing where they both walk to the combat zone. They take 20 paces apart and then engage. That's what happened.
But John Wick doesn't fire.
Duel with pistols.
Next season, we're going to have more changes to look forward to. There's a Crucible playlist reorganization, including a 3v3 rotator node. Ooh.
Isn't that just Trials?
No. It's going to be a rotator node, some sort of different rotator.
No, but I mean, right now, Trials is the only 3v3 is what I meant to say.
No. Competitive.
No? Oh, yeah. That's a thing that exists.
Yeah.
There's also competitive Crucible changes now that you mention it, including the competitive weapon focusing, rank adjustment updates, and 3v3 countdown rush. Trials flog card rewards for the win streaks of less than 7. So you can get rewards for not having 7 wins on your Trials card. And 7 wins in a streak, and more checkmate modes. Dominion 3v3 Clash, aka Skirmish, is going to come to Checkmate Land, which Respawn will also think he's excited about, but never actually play.
I mean, I forgot it was a thing because I don't ever go into PvP, so I don't pay attention. Therefore, I don't remember. That's and okay. Our other Titan brethren, or your Titan brethren, I should say, Micah, he is livid that Destiny is slowly but surely becoming Call of Duty.
Well, it's not, is it?
I mean, that's basically what Checkmate is, and it's going to be in every game mode.
No, it's not going to be in every game mode.
It's just Crucible Labs.
For now.
Their Crucible Labs, history has not been good. They'll do this, they'll forget about it for 6 years, and then bring it back and go, hey, remember those things we did a million years ago with Checkmate? Hey, it's going to be a thing here. Yeah, they're not changing it all into Checkmate. Checkmate is not going to take over PvP and become everything.
No. It's going to be a rotator. It's going to be in the new 3v3 stuff. Don't worry about it. It's not going to affect you.
I thought it was an actual game mode that's just in PvP now.
Actually, it's not going to affect you anyway because you don't do PvP unless we drag you in there.
Yeah, so yeah.
I mean, if more was like Checkmate, I might be more in because that's the kind of style I'm used to. Weapons matter more than skill, abilities.
But you're not going to remember it exists anyway, so it's not going to matter. Just like you're not going to remember that Skirmish is a 3v3 Crucible game mode where it's a team deathmatch mode where the team with the most points wins. Players can revive each other if they are close enough, which grants an extra 50 points to that team for getting that successful revive. And the key to winning is keeping your teammates alive and in the fight while preventing the other team from completing their revives.
What is this somebody saying about tests will only sell shaders? There's going to be no more microtransactions? I know, it's funny, but why are they saying that? Did I miss something?
Because they're playing with you, obviously.
Yeah, probably just to mess with you, because they're just Ron Burgundying you.
Okay, I figured.
Just like we all played with the crafting. Well, we all either played with, against, or near the crafting, and now we have a lovely emblem to commemorate our time together.
Do we? Oh
Yeah.
my god! Look at that emblem. It's so chaotic.
You asked for it in the last couple of weeks.
I
Bungie
did.
have given you an emblem.
I'm
I'm quite glad
we can get it. We can
that
get
it is that you just have had to have played in that kind of that time frame rather than if you have created the weapon. Because I wasn't able to create a weapon, but
There
I
you go.
did play in that time frame, so I'm quite happy that I could still get the
Oh,
emblem
it was in
because I was
23.
there when it happened.
Yeah. So if you played any time between September 15th, that's Friday, at 9 a.m. Pacific, and September 21st, that Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific, you'll receive the emblem basically when it's ready to go in season 23. So, we don't have it yet. It'll be in the next season. So yes, from the 15th to the 21st of September, if you played the game anywhere in that range, it wasn't you had to be in trials or you had to do this. You just had to play the game. You will get this crazy, chaotic emblem sometime in the next season.
While we're on this subject,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Which one? The emblems or the
The
crafting?
mad scientist crafting.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay.
So while we're on this subject, I did take a look at the submissions, and although we did get a bunch, we got an overwhelming number from one person.
Submissions
Yeah.
for what?
For the
contest.
competition that Respawn,
the $50 gift card.
Respawn
Yeah.
ran.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good.
So
good. Great.
although y'all all had some kooky ideas and a lot of them were fun, I gotta say, not just because the weapon he made, but the fact that he put it to Ozzy Osbourne music that matched almost perfectly to what he was doing, right? I gotta give it to Dimwee, right? Because the weapon that he made and put to Ozzy Osbourne music was a grenade launcher that shot like a shotgun, which a lot of people made, fair enough. But he figured out how to have infinite ammo. So not only did he make a broken weapon that just hits hard, he made a broken weapon that completely ignored ammo economy. Oh, there's a boss there. Let me just fire at it for the next 10 minutes until, and he never runs out of ammo, right? Because somehow this mad scientist managed to put the perk where if you miss a shot, it puts a round back in your magazine on a shotgun grenade launcher. Yeah. So
I mean,
that didn't even occur to me.
He's just
right?
he's just living the dream. He's living the dream we all have of never reloading. Because reloading breaks our immersion, and then you have to die to reload.
And he had a lot of good submissions. The one that I was almost going to give him is he had an auto rifle that shot missiles straight down. They had no range. It would just go bloop. It would literally fall out of the barrel and land on the ground. I was like, what's the point of this gun?
Performance anxiety?
Yeah. So that made me laugh out loud until I saw the grenade launcher put to Ozzy Osbourne music. So I got to give him that. You all had really funny submissions. There were so many Amit submissions. I can't even begin to tell you, which is why it's funny that Bungie says, Amit, right? Instead of like, am I right? Right. So, yeah. So although there were not as many as I thought, there were only like 30 or 40 submissions. I thought there would be way more than that. At least 10 or 15 were just from Dimwee.
Yeah.
So he flooded the market, unfortunately. So he may have had a bit of an unfair advantage against everybody else, but I never said you were limited on how many you had to put, right? So he took advantage of that, and he's like, all right, I can do this and 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 this. But there was one he put to music, and it happened to be Ozzy Osbourne, which is one of my, he's one of my favorite guys. And then it just matched what he was doing perfectly, right? So I was like, I got to give it to him right there. The gun was amazing. He broke the economy. It was funny as hell, and he was creative with how he did it. So for the winner of this competition, I got to give the $50 gift certificate to Dimwee.
Well done, Dimwee.
Congratulations.
Hopefully he never hears this and he never calls me out on it. So here's hoping for that.
Well, unlike you, I'm fairly certain he does listen to the podcast. Or someone who is listening right now, whose name might be T-Rex King, will probably tell him this has occurred and will say, hey, Respawn, remember that thing?
What thing? Contest? Wait, hold on. No, the contest hasn't happened yet. The Jeopardy thing, it hadn't happened yet. What are you talking about?
No, the other contest.
What other contest?
Your contest.
The one we're supposed to drive responsibly.
Oh, that one. Yeah, don't drink and drive, guys. That's a bad thing.
Are you now? This is the test. Does Respawn have any idea what this next topic is about? Has Aztecross told him what has gone on this week with his beloved Sparrow?
No. Oh, yes, I do know about all the Sparrows are going to be the same speed again, but instead of bringing my favorite Sparrow down to everyone else, they're bringing everybody up to my favorite Sparrow. So, what I've been asking all along at first I was asking for skin crafting on your Sparrows, right? So you can change what your Sparrow looks like beyond just the shader, right? So you can mix and match, this Sparrow with that booster, right? Or something like that, right? Because mainly I do like other Sparrows, but I can't give up the Speedy Sparrow where enemies don't target you as often, right? So, just happened to have also been the fastest in the game, and Bungie's all like, you know what? We understand that this is a problem, and instead of nerfing that one Sparrow, we're bringing all the other Sparrows to its level. So, kudos. Everyone's going to be zoomy, even if you were never around to get the two Sparrows that are broken right now. No, the one Sparrow that's broken and one of two Sparrows where enemies target you less. Yes.
Yeah, Stealth Runner.
Stealth Runner, that thing.
So you're telling me my micro mini Sparrow will finally be as fast as the always on time?
It absolutely will be.
Yes, but you won't have Stealth Runner, which is enemies are less aggressive towards you while you're riding on the Sparrow.
Which is fine. I want to keep that, and all the rest of you can be my cannon fodder. How about that?
You could have had the EV-37 Void Streak, which also has that perk on it, which is a legendary one. So go and put that one out of your collections if you've got it from way back when.
That's the one Sparrow I keep in my vault from the 2019 Solstice event for that reason. It doesn't come in handy often, but it does come in handy.
There's a Sparrow, I think it's in this season, that actually shoots bubbles out the back. Bubbles.
Probably from last season.
Hold on, let me double check. I think it's from this season.
Purple bubbles, or like little child running around going ooh bubbles. What kind of
bubbles?
Oh.
Like childhood bubbles. Hold on, let me see. Collections.
Not tiny bubbles that'll protect me.
Oh, absolutely not. No, as far as I'm aware, these serve no protection whatsoever.
That's okay.
What the hell is it? Equipment? It is equipment. Okay, there we go. So Sparrows are here. Season 22. Is it the Acromatis? Chemical Bird?
It's not the Majestic Winnie, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, that isn't it. Majestic Winnie, that sounds like a horse.
It is. It's a magical horse.
Y'all can continue while I look through all these to find out which one it is.
Okay.
Right. Well, while you're doing
it's
that,
back over to Peroty.
Yeah. Who's ready for spooky season? We're all ready for spooky season. First off, we're gonna close the chapter on groups. If you didn't remember there was a chapter on groups, you're like the rest of us. Because way back in the mists of time, in November 14th, 2001? 2001. That is, there are people playing this game that were not born then. Groups, then known as chapters, were created to help foster our community. Throughout the years, they've been vitally important to Bungie.net, creating the forums for the website. However, over the past decade, really decades, plural, group usage has been slowly decreasing to the point where it's time to say goodbye to them. Within the past 6 months, out of the 5.1 million groups that have been created, only 65 of them were active with at least one post. Breaking it down further, only 16 were active in the past month, and 10 of those had over 10 posts of them, and only 3 broke over 100 posts. So there's
wow.
There's like a dozen of you out there still remembering A, groups exist, and 2, using it. So they say, the decision doesn't come lightly. We've been postponing for several years, but, with the company growing and changing and blah, 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 we're going to turn off groups now. So if you're one of the half dozen people still using it, over the next couple months, are going to set the post to read only. So if there's some amazing hero moment or amazing post that you made or go back to, or just want to archive your things to move them elsewhere, the whole thing will be made read only. Do with it as you wish. They don't have an actual timeline on when they're turning it off for good, but just know that day is coming. For most of you, you won't know what this is, and this won't affect you. So go on with life.
Right.
What is it?
Sorry, I thought you took a break. Like I was saying earlier, and I totally said this, it was in fact from last season, and it's the JJ2 Research Rover. It shoots bubbles out its butt. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, last season, not this season.
That's what it said, last season.
Exactly. But some known issues for this season: some weapons purchased from Banshee 44 may have a different masterwork than what is displayed on them. The Osmosis perk is not successfully activating on all weapons. The Ascension Major Arcana cards buff is not applying Scorch to enemies. Suppression or Jolt effects can sometimes apply to allies in Savathûn Spire. Just sometimes. Unearthed exotic armor ornaments can sometimes show as available in the appearance screen, but cannot be equipped. Hive swords will occasionally consume a player's enlightenment, but fail to be picked up in Crota's reprise. And the Photonic Vest Hunter chest armor is currently unable to be transmogged. So that's it. Those are all the issues. Everything else is fixed and beautiful. And Crota is not being yeeted off the map by people. Nope, everything's fine.
The Photonic Vest Hunter chest armor? Is that the raid one? Photonic?
I wouldn't know. But you can't transmog it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did have a quick look to see, because last year that they put out a Destiny 2 Festival of the Lost guide. I did have a look on the Bungie help to see if they put an updated one for this year. They haven't updated it as yet. We are still running off of last year's information, which is really helpful. Not Bungie,
No, it's super
because
helpful.
you're telling people about the stuff. I'd like to tell people to make sure that, you know, if it is a haunted lost sector, if they want to go into a legend one, is it solo? Do you have to do it solo, or is it for a group? Are there going to be locked versions of it? So if you want to go in and you just want to do lost sectors by yourself, are they locked? You know, tell us the things. Are there going to be spectral pages again? Because people want to get their lore. If they missed out in the last couple of years, they're new to the game. Are they going to be able to get their spectral pages, their manifest pages? You've told us there's candy. I know there's candy.
Ooh, piece of candy.
And the masks. You haven't given us an update on the masks. I mean, obviously,
there
we
will
know
probably be
for
some.
the masks.
We know that Eververse is going to be updated with some stuff because we did go over that and cover that. But yeah, just tell us. We want to know these things.
Listen, they're going to publish the page. They're going to publish the page on Tuesday morning, right before it goes live. Because again, the calendar team and the content team are not on the same page. What I can tell you though is the Photonic Vest for the Hunters comes from Trials of Osiris. So Respawn, don't worry, you don't have it, so you don't have to worry about it not being transmogged.
Fair enough.
So Respawn, it's yeet or be yeeted when you have clumsy teammates.
Oh goodness. I present a parody, hey, that's you, of lawyer commercials that I saw constantly as a child, but for Destiny 2 players. Had so much fun with this with my friends.
1-800 clumsy.
That's just a picture. Okay.
You have to click it. It's a video.
Oh, you may be entitled to compensation. Oh.
Yeah, there's a picture you can click to then watch the video. Just like when every weapon becomes exotic in Destiny 2. There's that time the Destiny 2 had a Purge movie of the week. And Eris deserves a vacation because there's Savathûn here. Hey, now some beautiful artwork and some Eris artwork with the Warlock. And movie of the week, guard of the week. And it's Iron Banner time, and Hippie has to go, and that's the end of the TWAB. We did it. We made it.
The end of the TWAB.
There's some doggos. And don't forget to keep calm and carry a wand, and don't go losing your ghoul over a match. It's all about having skella fun.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of puns. So many puns.
So many puns. Nitedemon, did you watch anything on the internet this week that is worth sharing with the good people? Did anybody make any good videos?
They did. Cheese Forever made a very good video, along with a couple of other people, because did you know you can yeet poor old Crota off solo if you want to in the Crota's End raid?
I did.
Poor old Crota.
Very funny.
I wonder how D1 too.
Well, no, because you couldn't finish somebody. You know the old thing where if you finish
without
an enemy,
you could just kind of hit him off the edge, couldn't you? In D1.
No, that was Atheon. You could throw the grenades down, and then they put the baby bumpers up so that you couldn't. But this is actually yeeting an enemy. If you time it right and you get Crota behind that enemy and you yeet the enemy hits Crota and he goes flying off the edge of the map. And if you time it just right, he doesn't then respawn back up at the top of the map. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting thing that they may or may not patch soon. So
also, I don't know if you guys know during the raid, since we're on that topic, I found
Proto
out
raid?
this week with the team that I was running, right?
Was it
That
us?
No.
Okay.
We actually finished the raid.
That
right?
wasn't a team then. No.
You know the part where you have the streaker up top and you got to kill the streaker, then run past the wall before the wall comes back up again?
Yes.
Apparently, you
The
can
whole
just
way.
blink through the wall.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
told you about that a couple of weeks back.
Did
Hunters
you?
and Warlocks, yeah, you can blink.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you've got the buff, you can blink through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Well, I didn't retain that.
You didn't
and then
listen to me. You didn't listen to me.
Well,
Didn't
I
listen to the
listened, I
videos.
just didn't retain.
Oh my word. Well, Fallout Plays this week has got a video on shotguns. Because again, people keep asking him to make shotgun videos. So he's made it simple for you. He's got his 5 top shotguns for PvP. Because he narrowed it down. He just went, at the end of the day, I'm not doing all of them. Here are the 5. Realistically, I could narrow it down to like 3, but here's 5. So if you haven't got the conditional finality, which is the one that you
I
can
was
get
just
from
about to say
the
that.
raid,
Yeah.
which he does recommend, is probably the best one out of the whole lot, then there are a couple of legendary ones that he does have that you could possibly go and get. So
Yeah, but it's not just because it can potentially one shot like every other shotgun does. It's because the first shot, as you know, if you have it, will freeze, and the second shot will ignite. Right? Well, the first shot, not every pellet has to hit you to freeze you in PvP, apparently, right? So it makes for very easy cleanups, and you could also just waste that first shot so you have that ignite ready as a secondary shot and tag somebody with that, ignite them, and then if they're alive, finish them off. So it is kind of a broken PvP shotgun right now.
Yeah.
And that's without watching Aztecross's video. Not Aztecross, Fallout's video. He might have even more reasons why, but that's just what I've come across. Yeah.
I did watch another really cool one from Shadow Destiny this week, which had 70 things only Destiny veterans remember. So it isn't just Destiny 2. There are Destiny 1 there's things in there as well, which are quite cool. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that, but I remember it. So yeah. And Ibontis has the Imbaru engine, the complete guide now, because there is another hidden room. Although they do say, I think I was listening to him on the Last Word podcast, and people have got out of bounds and found another room that could possibly maybe be the end of the season. But at the moment, there are 3 Imbaru engine missions that you can do, but it does require you to go and get another card. So once you've got the other card, you can then go and do the 3rd challenge. And I believe he said it gives you a golf ball at the end. So it's worth doing if you just want a free golf ball. Go and do the Imbaru engine. So yeah.
These are probably things I should know from this season.
I think I have that video saved to go visit the Imbaru engine because I went into it once and then I haven't visited it again because it didn't seem necessary.
What is the Imbaru engine?
It's Internet Imbarus that Eric says
you.
go into this engine and open chests, but not the wrong chests.
Yeah.
Not the wrong one?
Yeah, just look, just watch the Ibontis guide. He's got all 3 of them on there. Tells you how to do it. You get a golf ball.
Yeah, there's a little puzzle with chests. And you need to open the right ones, not the wrong ones.
You do.
It's important.
Hello, everybody.
Not now.
I didn't. I stopped it. I was just getting to a channel. I'm done.
So going off of feedback that I've got over the last week from our listeners about whether they want a 15 to 20 minute version of this week coming up in Destiny or a 3-minute version, I now present you with a 3-minute version because that's what people have asked for. This is your weekly rundown of Season 22, Week 9, Season of the Witch. The Dreaming City this week is at a strong curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in Ria Silvia and has the Dark Monastery mission for the next week. The Blahhhh features Taken Enemies and the Plague Inamina. The Ascendant challenge this week will be the Keep of Owned Edges, which can be located over in the Harbinger Seclude. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is in the Deep, the Trove Guardian is located in the Hellmouth, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Fallen Council in Archer's Line. Nightmare hunts Fogoth, Fear, Korota, Despair, and the Fanatic Insanity. On Europa this week, Praxis the Technocrat will be the Empire Hunt, Cadmus Ridge will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Safeguard. Dares of Eternity legendary rounds are Hive, Vex, and Valister Arc. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Prefectus armor set will be available in Dares of Eternity with Weapon Set 2. Scathelock, Extraordinary Rendition, Brass Attacks, Threaded Needle, Code Duello, Imperial Needle, Far Future, Honor's Edge, Distant Terminus, Interference 6, Shepherd's Watch, and Annual Skate. The Witch Queen weekly story mission is The Communion, Altar of Reflection's Choice, and Altar of Reflection's Pact. The Lightfall weekly mission is No Time Left, the Partition mission will be Hard Reset, and the Vex incursion this week will be Liming Harbour. The Crota's End raid challenge this week is the first encounter, Enter the Abyss, called Conservation of Energy. The Root of Nightmares raid challenge this week is the second encounter, Scission, called Crossfire. The Kingsfall raid challenge this week is the second encounter, War Priest, called Devious Thievery. The Vow the Disciple challenge this week is the third encounter, the Upender, called Defenses Down. The Vault of Glass challenge this week is the third encounter, Templar, called Out of Its Way. The Deepstone Crypt challenge this week is the first encounter, Crypt Security, called Red Rover. And the Last Wish challenge this week is the second encounter, Shirochi, called Witch Witch. Your pinnacle raid will be the Gun of Salvation over on the Moon, which means all challenges will be available for each encounter. The pinnacle dungeon will be the Pit of Heresy, also on the Moon. And our exotic mission rotator will be Operation Seraph Shield, with the Revision Zero exotic pulse rifle being the main reward. The Season of the Ceres weapon set, and Ikelos weapon set, with the Warmind's Avatar armor set. This week's challenges are Soul Sorcery, Sun and Moon, Into the Unknown, Ritual Ornament, Moon Activities, Eyeing Iron, and Darkest Nightfall. Lost Sectors, Tuesday Extraction on the Throne World for exotic chests, Wednesday Metamorphosis on the Throne World for exotic helmets, Thursday K1 Revelations on the Moon for exotic boots, Friday K1 Communion on the Moon for exotic gauntlets, Saturday K1 Crew Quarters on the Moon for exotic chests, Sunday Concealed Void on Europa for exotic helmets, and Monday Bunker E15 on Europa for exotic boots. Our ninth featured Nightfall of the season was Circe off against Hashladoon, Daughter of Crota, in the Scarlet Keep over on the Moon, with the Buzzard Sidearm being the featured weapon. Lord Shack swings momentum control to the Crucible for the 9th week of the season, Rift in the Relentless Crucible playlist, and Checkmate Rumble in Crucible Labs, with Trials of Osiris at the weekend. Plus, Festival of the Lost 2023 goes live this Tuesday with a whole host of haunted activities and rewards. And Eververse will be packed to the rafters with cosmetics to enhance your spooky shenanigans. And that's it for week 9 of Season of the Witch.
Nice.
What the people
Giving the
have
people what they
demanded.
want. How
I
dare
did,
you.
yes. You know, and if that is not enough for you, you can always go over to our YouTube channel and check out the 3-minute guide with pictures. There are pictures and little videos.
No,
Or,
it's marine friendly. You hear that?
or if you want the full guide, like 15 to 20 minutes, depending on what it is, it will explain, you know, the game modes and different things that are happening in the game in a bit more detail. You can also go and check that out over on our YouTube page. And I do try and upload them on a Sunday afternoon, evening, so that you're ready for that week ahead.
Or if you want the fullest guide for the complete experience, may I recommend you the entire podcast that will give you between 90 minutes and 3.5 hours of content every week.
What?
And I think with that, yeah, I haven't seen Bungie say anything about the eating Crota off an edge thing, and they're probably just like, you know, it's fine. Just
if we don't talk about it, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't exactly sound like it's easy to set up. First, you have to get an enemy low, and then you have to get that enemy between you and Crota. It's
pretty easy if you're a Titan.
Yeah,
the amount of enemies that they kind of set up to be one shot, and then you go over and you take out the knights in the tower so you're not getting bombarded. You take out the wizards. You then just literally hang around near Crota's Oversoul. As long as you've got like the Banner of War, if you're the Titan, you can or go invisible just so that you draw them all over to that area. You can keep finishing them until you get Crota to go and stand behind one of them. So yeah, it looks very achievable. And if I had a Crota checkpoint, I would be trying it.
There's a video in, I think, Cheese Forever's video that he can tell you how to go get a Crota checkpoint.
I know.
I think there's another place to go get checkpoints now after the passing of Stadia. Which, if I remembered what it was, I would tell you, but I don't remember what he said.
There's a Discord channel.
There is a Discord channel.
That's probably
that I always use. Well, no, I don't know. It's called Destiny 2 LFG, right? And they have checkpoints, they have raid, they have everything in there, man.
So you can just go in there and pick up a checkpoint and then be on your merry way.
Yes.
If you go to the room that's for checkpoints, yeah.
Maybe we can drop that link in the show notes for other people who are like, I would also like to go get checkpoint to then go eat.
Didn't you guys tell me about this?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
But we like to remind people.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that's the thing. Even if we've forgotten, we can pretend like we haven't forgotten and then tell the people. like we haven't, because we're definitely on top of things and never forget what we've talked about in the last 240 episodes.
So we want never
we would
expires
never.
and no limit uses, right? That's what we want. Okay. Boom.
Never give up, never surrender. Thundergun.
Never give up, never surrender.
A bit like our Patreons, really.
Right?
They
it's
would
in this channel's chat.
Absolutely never give up and never surrender. Because, you try to threaten people with a good time, and it can't be done. Zeb Orbit and K4 cannot be threatened with a good times. Simply not possible.
Mhm.
The Outer Dance Troupe, you can threaten them. They're just going to dance at you. And what glorious dancing it is, led by the T-Rex King, the Scarlet KM, BHS Nightcrawler, Melomally, and Dedicated Wham 64. I mean, just absolutely phenomenal dancers. And why do they dance?
T-Rex could use some classes, but yeah, I got you.
Well, no, I mean, he's the leader of the dance squad. I mean, the dance troupe, that's what he does. And do you know why they dance? Because Carver 2782, Golden God 1562, basically Salt, Zombie Pops, Renard Calant, and Jacob are throwing grenades at them. And why do they throw grenades? Because they've been told to by Deacon's Day 1 raid team of Dimwee. Contest winning Dimwee, Gravy Jeff, PP Pipe, and the Drifters Driftwood. That's why they do the things they do, and we love them, and we appreciate each and every one of our lovely patrons. And if you'd like to be one of those lovely patrons who can also not be threatened with a good time, dance, throw grenades, or, do as you see fit, patreon.com/TTAH. And that'll get you the things and secret access to our secret Discord. Not so secret a Discord, but, secret access that Respawn will interact with you and have fun and give you opportunities to raid with him, so you too can probably undermine him, either purposely or accidentally. I leave that up to you.
No. You had me until then. Absolutely not. No, what he's trying to say is
You
the
won't
secret
remember any of this.
Patreon
It's
channel
fine.
is where I go for first dibs. If I'm doing a raid or if I'm doing an activity of any kind and I need a team, the Patreon channel gets first dibs, and after about 5 or 10 minutes, then I move to the other channels to give them a shot. So yes, Patreons get first dibs on any and all activities. At least for me. I don't know about the other two hosts, but I always start there.
Excellent. Oh, and I didn't get a chance to this week, but Jacob is Fire Squad. So Fire Squad 1688. Lovely. It's good to have people who are not just, not their human names, because none of us are real humans. We're all gamers here. It's all good. It's all good times. So yeah, thank you, each and every one of you. We appreciate you very, very much. I'd like to say we're going to promise you things, but really we just promise you a good time. We promise you this show each and every week, and maybe things are coming in the future, maybe they aren't. We don't plan. Yeah. We just go and hope for the best. Just like walking into a day 1 raid with the three of us going, we're just going to go in there, have a laugh, and try our hardest.
Yeah. And for the new people that are here, we're already in October, so that means 2 months, and then we have our yearly special around Christmas time where it's not really Destiny related. It's just it's insanity. We have saxophone playing kids. Doing raids. We have raccoons attacking us and or becoming our closest friends. I mean, it's literally just random. So if you're looking forward to that in a couple of months, there's that. Our yearly Christmas special being,
it's special.
The key word there. Exactly.
It's special. What's it going to be? You just have to wait to find out. It's going to be special.
We don't even know.
Well, I think we've done it. We set ourselves a task. We completed the task. And now we say thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Nitedemon. Your Hunter is no one responds in real life. Your man, waiting in the wings, sitting there on deck, waiting to come join us one of these days, is a T-Rex King. We will wrangle him on here so he can give all of his T-Rex opinions, in addition to his best dance moves. If you've got feedback or just want to say hello, good day, good evening, twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com is where you can send all those lovely messages. We're also on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere you want to find us. Really just, again, type 2 Titans and a Hunter into a search box. You'll find us. I believe in you. You can find this show wherever you get your podcasts. And you should follow us on YouTube and hit that little button. And you can have the long version, the short version, the live streams, the show itself, all of the good, glorious content. What is Ada going to sell me this week? Why should I play the game this week? What new thing could I buy from Eververse that I've been holding on to this Bright Dust for? All there on the lovely YouTube channel. You can go to
And how to
twotitansandahunter.com.
use your legendary shards, which is important. Coming up too, Peroty. Don't forget that.
Exactly. Spend
How
all
to
your
use
legendary
the
shards.
so you don't waste them.
Go to Rahul. Just throw them all at the man. Just say, here, just throw them at him. Give him little cuts with the shards. You know, just that's what you should do. You should also go to twotitansandahunter.com to find this show, all the show notes, and all the information we talk about. Our Patreon hangs out at patreon.com/TTAH. You can go buy us a coffee at coffee.com/twotitansandahunter. That's ko-fi.com. And if you would like the thrill, and when I mean thrill, the thrill of live action, spicy language, and a live version of the show that you may either deeply enjoy or soon live to regret, twitch.tv/no-one-responds in real life. If you want to keep it family friendly like a proper British gentleman, head over to twitch.tv/twotitansandahunter, and you should go to both of those places and you should hit that button and hit that bell, because they will go live and you will be notified. And that is a beautiful thing, because you can wake up in the morning and go, I can go join Iron Banner with Nitedemon, and we can go hang around and have a good time. Or Respawn's live. I can go hang out with him, run a dungeon, run a raid, do all the PvE things, or just poke him needlessly and say PvP exists in the game. Just remind him that he might enjoy Checkpoint. I'm not gonna tell you how to interact. Just I'm saying you should go follow and enjoy. And with that, I think we've come to the end of this glorious show. Another week, another episode, another contest is over, and another contest to come.
And until next time, let everybody deuces and see you later, bud.
Bye, Nitedemon.
Bye.